The ones within anime, and I gotta really catch the mic real quick. The ones within anime goes about this one sort of villain archetype known as Paka, the alpaca, and what he basically it's voiced by a character that sounds a lot like him in real life, and the cadence even matches too. The character that voices Paka, the man that voices Paka, sounds a lot like M when it's not. When it's although it's voice acting, it sounds a lot like Crime War. And then another thing to note is that this character has the same personality as M. He's very well thought out like M. He's very thorough like M. Comprehensive like M. Everything lines up, almost, but quite to the very extreme degree it does. While I'm actually commercial bias as well. You heard me mention the ones before. Not the ones within, I mean, they're like people before. Billy Jim Bob from Incredibots forums over the last 15 years. Spoonie from Waltrip High School and Hamilton Middle School. Freaking Gopa Cashman before he dies in 2017. Not in a scary way, just different. And then even, of course, Crime War himself. These are all people that I look up to in a very, very, very deep light. This even includes Enchanted Cottage 3, Auntie Karen. These are not people that are necessarily bad per se, or even bad in my eyes. They're just people that have an incredible amount of importance according to me. And so, they're very anime-esque, they're very deep and profound, but they're in real life. And so it's like, how do you meet people with that goddamn good of a unique personality? I don't know. I meet them anyways. I'm the dreamer, and I know what that's like to meet them. But what surprises me, what even actually scares me mostly about Crime War, is not just that I managed to manifest someone like him in my life over the last few years. It's the fact that he's real, and the fact that he actually is walking on this earth with the beliefs that he has about emotional welfare. And I'll get into that in other videos later. About emotional welfare, and about how he sees psychology in video games in general, and how he sees the world around him, including politics. That man scares the living shit out of me. He is very intelligent, very personable, in a good way, and I will say this in a very controversial light. He understands how order and control works. He very much, into the same light as the deep story of Nakahito Genome goes, he's very good at understanding how control and order works. In a very easy to manipulate light, but a manipulate light that he can use manipulatively, because he's a good person who knows how to manipulate. He's scary! No, of course that's not going to be a part of it. I'm going to add this in anyways. Crime War, in my understanding, is a very, very well put together man. He's the most personable you get to a person without making it look too weird or ugly, and still being perfect. And I'm very grateful I got to meet him. Not in person, that was mysterious enough. I'm grateful I got to know someone like Moriarty. I really am. He is very intimidating and horrifying to know in real life. The fact that someone like him is real scares the living shit out of me. It scares me. It really does scare me that someone like him is real. That he knows that much about deep dark psychology and video game era understandings and something like that. Like, do you think about how I know in the real friends of this YouTube video that should be uploaded eventually? The fact that I'm on this presence with this President Valley face, whatever the heck you call it. Well, talking head video, whatever. Talking about this, right? I'll across the will show this to anybody, even in real life, doxing wise, or whatever I do wrong. Moriarty can't afford to do that with his anonymity. Time Pebble was the same way. Ramen was the same way. He couldn't reveal anyone his personal self, not even if it was on the internet. In real life, they couldn't know who he was anyways. And some people don't know M that well to begin with, if they're leaving out in his life. So he has the right idea about boundaries, but it's also kind of like, isn't he supposed to be that mysterious and dark in a legal and acceptable way, innocent wise? Maybe so. I love Crime War. I don't wish anything ill will about him, and I hope that he finds what he wants in his life. If that's even a weird way to say that about somebody that I really respected. He used to be my mentor. As an NT mentor, he was a really good man. So, like Billy Jim Bob, who used to disappoint me for being too dark and heavy on the things I was already doing right or wrong, and doesn't have to admit that you're doing anything wrong to begin with. But he does hold up all you doing right as well. So it's like, So M would, unlike Billy Jim Bob, M would commend me on things I did do right, but not too much to the degree where I don't have to know any better. And likewise, I'm hard on M for not understanding how emotional regulation and welfare works. He's always trying to make it look like he knows how to negotiate that, but he negotiates it improperly, and meanwhile, things to him that are unacceptable should already be allowed to happen. And it's hard to explain that to someone like M. It really is. This is the most sense I make out of the video, this will be it. But I managed a 3-minute clip later, so that's my honest input about Crime War. He's a good man. He's a good person. He's too dark. Psychologically, in that regard, he is way too dark to understand as a person. I compare him to Crime War and Tony Stark for a reason, and other characters in fiction. He is a very dark, personable person. I wouldn't expect anything different from a guy who is that truly unique and not admitting that they're unique in the first place. That's Crime War gaming to me. That's Moriarty. For real.